Hey, sports fans, welcome to the Greg Medford Show. Greg Medford, your host. We're coming to you from Atlanta Blade Show 2023. I don't know where you have bumped into us or if you're seeing a little clip on YouTube. If you are, you can find the full length of our podcasts, politics, modern topics, manufacturing, knife making, leather crafting, all sorts of things you can find on our Rumble, Spotify, and iTunes channels. Just go search for The Greg Medford Show. Our next guest is Sarah Blakeley. Sarah, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you very much.
Did I say your name right?
Yes, you did.
Awesome. Sarah's got a company called Soulbound Leather.
Yes.
And you are a handcrafter, obviously.
Yes.
I was a little taken aback when you said you made that sheath. I was like...
You were speechless.
I'm a little bit of a chauvinist in the craft world because I see a lot of gal stuff and I kind of go like that. When I see purses and sheaths, my attention is kind of wrapped. Tell me about the sheath you've made here. It's fucking gorgeous.
So I was commissioned to do this by someone who purchased this knife from Jason Knight. Jason Knight makes beautiful knives, and he has a great knife design because it gives me a lot of real estate to be able to do some amazing things with the sheath. So this sheath was made with an ostrich skin inlay, and it comes, I stopped it right here, and I cut it off, and then I put it right here. And then this is also a part of the ostrich skin, and it wraps around all the way into the back here, which I think just gives it an added little detail. But it's fully lined, and the hang on it is perfect. So when I try to make these, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at how I can design this, where I can put the stitches ahead of time, and then how it's going to hang on the body, like where we're going to put it.
So does he just send you the knife and you kind of float an idea what you're going to do, or does he send you the knife and he's like, I trust you, just fucking rip it?
Typically, that's what we do. I prefer to work with people who do that for me because I can get creative with it. If you don't give me like an instruction manual, I can be a lot more creative, and usually I do my best work with people who are like that.
Well, I think all of us who are like creative folks, I used to take custom orders, and I was like, oh, no, not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't taken custom order in years. He was like, oh, you jerk. I'm like, look, you can guess all this shit you see from your sports team orange that you want.
Yep.
Just let me do this. I
agree.
So you mind if I pick it up and check it out?
Absolutely, please.
So to pull this out, 2 snaps?
Yep, 2 snaps. It's really sharp.
All right, so obviously a ton of real estate. This would be like a great croc hunter.
I know, it's beautiful.
I'm going to set this down.
A Jason Knight knife. It's gorgeous.
Jason Knight. I don't know Jason, but cool. And I'm just checking out this sheath. What kind of stitcher do you have?
I have a Cobra Class 4. I usually use that for the welt part. And then I also have a Juki that I use for the little smaller, more detailed stitches like, around the windows and stuff, because it takes a long time to set that Cobra up for smaller stitches. You got to like adjust the stitch length and the tension and all that.
And the Juki's super fast, or do you just leave it for the little stuff?
Juki is very, very fast. I used to hand stitch everything, and I still do. It just depends on the project. This one, like I said, I had enough room that I can get that stitch in, and with an LR needle, which I know I'm talking stupid stuff, but with the LR needle, you can get it to look like a hand stitch, which is what is a really desirable looking stitch. So that's what I do on those. It's beautiful. And then I cut it out with a laser. So I hand draw the design. So
you have a CO2 laser you cut your patterns out with?
Hand draw it, get it scanned into the computer. I get it on AutoCAD and I adjust everything so everything is precise. And then I cut it out on the laser and it's perfect.
How long does it take you to make a sheath like this?
Probably, there's like dry time and stuff like that. So I give myself 4 days, but obviously I'm not just working on that for 4 days. But yeah, about 4 days.
All right. Cool.
Yes.
Do you mind telling us what a sheath like this costs if someone wants to get it from you, ish?
About $600 to $650.
Okay.
And then if you're talking about alligator in there, because that's ostrich leg, alligator is going to go up because that material is a lot more expensive. So it just depends on the exotic material and how much time I'm doing.
Where'd you learn how to do leather work?
I actually learned by myself, and I taught myself how to do it. Someone found me on Twitch because I used to stream on Twitch. And they asked me if I could make them a sheath, and so I told them that yes, I can try to make them a sheath, and I discovered that I actually really liked making them, and he was my most consistent client. So that's how I started doing sheath work, and then I found someone named Jason with Diomedes Industries, And he saw me streaming on Twitch, and he was like, oh, I wouldn't mind teaching you what I know about making sheaths. And so he taught me how to make sheaths a little bit better. Like, all of the stuff and skills that he learned, he taught to me. And he actually learned from Paul Long. So believe it or not, but I have a little bit of knowledge from what he taught to Paul Long, and then he brought that knowledge back down to me. So it's actually kind of cool because Paul Long is really well known in the sheath making community.
What did you do this edge with?
That is
that all hand
grinding.
sewn?
So
I mean, hand sanded.
A little bit hand sanding, yes. So I grind it down with an 80 grit on a belt grinder, and then I do it again at a 220, and then I dye the edge, and then I'll take it from 220 hand sanding, burnish, and then I'll take it from that to 800 and then to 1,000 to get a really good mirror finish. So it takes a long time, but it's
so even after you
worth
burnish, you even sand further,
Yep.
huh?
Burnish, sand, because that's how you're laying all those fibers down and making it look
right,
like glass, basically.
Well, and what do you use to burnish? Do you use denim, or do you have I like when I'm doing pieces, I have some different nylon spools that I use the side of.
So believe it or not, but every piece of leather feels different even when it's being burnished. So it really depends on what I'm feeling as I'm doing it. Sometimes I'll use a duck cloth, sometimes I'll use a softer canvas, sometimes I'll actually use a burnishing stick and then a sander, and then I'll just buff it because sometimes that's all it needs. So it really just depends, but mostly it'll be canvas, and that's about it, canvas, and maybe like a soft t-shirt. And I hand sand, I hand do the canvas and stuff. Oh, and I use a buffer too. So you know what a buffer wheel is, right? I'll use that at the very end.
Muslin wheel with anything on it, or just a plain wheel?
It's just a regular old wheel. It's an old wheel that I got a long time ago. I've never even changed the wheel part on it. It's just cotton, so yeah, it works really, really well. And I have it at 300 RPMs, and everyone's like, oh, that's too much, it's gonna burn it. I'm like, no. You put a little bit of paraffin wax on the end and get that, and at the very end, it's so beautiful.
So, I mean, I don't follow around all the little kitsch crafts because I'm in the scalable making knife world, okay? Mm-hmm. But this is the nicest sheath I've ever seen.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to take a bow.
I've seen a couple of sheaths. It's the nicest sheath I've ever seen.
Thank you. And you got to put that knife back in there and feel how that feels when it goes in. But don't cut my leather.
Do you have top grain on the inside?
I have what?
Do you have top grain on the inside?
Yes.
So you've got, this is a top grain with a top grain liner?
Yep.
All right. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Where are you out of?
Virginia.
How old are you?
Am I 37 or am I 38? 37.
How long you been doing this for?
I've been leatherworking for 10 years, and I've been doing sheath work for about 5 years.
Really, really nice work. Thanks. Pretty amazing. If somebody wants to find you, where do they look?
They're going to find me at Soulbound Leather everything. So you can email me, soulboundleather@gmail.com. I'm on Instagram. Instagram is my main platform at Soulbound Leather, and that's SOULBOUNDLEATHER, Soulbound Leather. And Facebook, kind of suck at Facebook. I don't like it, but everything that I do goes over to Facebook, so you can also see me there. A little bit of TikTok.
A little bit of TikTok. How do you use the Instagram? Do you do reels or do you do pictures?
Definitely reels. I love doing pictures. That used to be the main source of, content for me.
Yeah.
And reels, just the algorithms are perfect. You put the trending audio on, you do a little bit of just a simple video of whatever you're doing, and that reel can go viral so fast. I love doing reels. And it's quick,
Good to know. Love it.
Yes.
Sarah, I'm absolute pleasure having you on. I love meeting craftsmen, craftsmen. Fan-fucking-tastic. It's a beautiful sheath.
Thank you.
And I'm a persnickety motherfucker. That is beautiful.
Dang, I feel kind of special though. You don't have nothing bad to say about that.
No. You make sure you leave a card or that I know how to reach to you.
Absolutely.
Because I made a pretty crazy knife for Zach Brown.
Mm-hmm.
It's an alligator hunting knife I made out of a piece of railroad track. It's
Get an
ridiculous.
alligator inlay on that.
That's what I was thinking, something crazy, but it's going to be, I'm putting it in somebody famous's hands. I kind of did it for nothing, for fun.
Yeah.
So I need, I think a badass sheath to go with it would be really cool.
Let's do it.
Nice marketing piece.
Yes.
All right.
I would be very, very honored to do that.
That'd be very cool.
Yes.
As Noir Toes in the Sand here at Blade Show 2023. What an amazing sheath. I just got kind of blown away. Fantastic. You guys, check out Sarah Blakeley. You can find her at Soulbound Leather everything. So soulboundleather@gmail.com is your email.
Yep.
It's not Sarah at Soulbound Leather. It's soulboundleather@gmail.com.
That's right.
All right, sports fans, you heard it here. Find out about her. She's probably going to be booked. I won't be able to get anything made. Go over and check us out. iTunes, Spotify, Rumble. Oh, geez. The Greg Medford Show. I'm Greg. Thanks for coming in. Later.